Welcome, everybody, to another Rev Talk. Reverend Kim and I have been discussing various things, and Zachary Fisher has written this saying that I just fell in love with. And then Kim took it one step further, and it explains why. And I'm going to tell you now the beginning of it so you can see why this is so important, particularly in this day and ages and at this time. And the saying is, at the bottom of every rabbit hole, I didn't find monsters. I found God. No matter what religion you are, God is an entity and the entity is love. And that's what makes the world go round. Now we're going to discuss why and how this came about. Reverend Kim?
So, like Reverend Beverly said, the Zachary Fisher wrote this, and it was posted on Facebook. And he always does these beautiful pictures and then kind of breaks it down into a few sentences. But if you click on the see more section, the little dots or whatever, it opens up to this whole explanation that just blew me away because it made perfect sense. So if you'll bear with me, I'm going to read through this. And it was labeled When Truth Becomes the Trap. There was a time when many of us woke up and realized the world wasn't what we thought it was. We saw through the lies, the manipulation, the control. We started asking questions, digging deeper, connecting the dots. That spark of awakening was real, and it mattered. It shook the system. It opened hearts. It gave millions permission to think for themselves. But somewhere along the way, something shifted. What began as a movement for truth became a competition for who could see the deepest. Conspiracy theorists started turning on each other. New theories formed about old ones, and those who once sought freedom became trapped inside an endless loop of suspicion and fear. Curiosity turned into obsession, discernment became paranoia. The same system we tried to escape learned to use our own minds against us. It didn't have to silence us. It only had to keep us busy chasing shadows. The rabbit hole became a maze with no exit. And yet, that descent had a purpose. Because the deeper I went, the more I was stripped bare. Every illusion fell away. Every false idol crumbled. And at the bottom of all those rabbit holes, beneath every layer of deception, I found something no one warned me about. I found God. Not the God of religion or fear, but the living creator inside everything. The stillness beneath the noise, the light that never left, the love that waited patiently for me to stop seeing darkness and start remembering truth. That's when I understood the point of awakening was never to know every secret. It was to remember who we are beyond them. The real revolution isn't external, it's internal. Real awakening doesn't make you paranoid, it makes you peaceful. It doesn't divide, it unites. It doesn't obsess over evil, it amplifies light. So maybe we've all gone deep enough. Maybe now it's time to rise, not as woke or asleep, not as left or right, not as conspiracy or mainstream, but as human beings returning to love. Because at the bottom of every rabbit hole, the only thing that ever truly waits is God.
That's what we've all been saying all this time as we try to analyze and we try to think, oh, they're doing this because they should have done that. And all of a sudden, it's not important. we need to unite.
Yes. All that noise, all of that running around in the maze, running around in the rabbit holes, like he says, with no exit. Everybody's, everybody's running around. Everybody's pointing fingers. Oh, they're not woke. Oh, I can hardly wait. I've heard this so many times. Oh, well, I can hardly wait for that person to awaken. Are you sure that's the person that needs to awaken? I've always wanted to,
You see that, yeah.
oh, I can't wait for them to wake up. Really? know, you're sure they're the ones that need to wake up? So it was very powerful for me when I read that, and when it came to what no one warned me about at the bottom of all those rabbit holes was God,
Yeah.
light, love, what we're supposed to be. So yes, and rather than beating ourselves up time and time again to say, okay, you know what? Maybe we have gone deep enough now.
That was the whole thing. Maybe we're looking in the wrong area. It's right in front of us,
It's been there all along.
right in us.
Yes.
That's where we need to go.
The revolution is internal, it's not external. And there's a lot of noise that can distract you from wanting to look at the internal.
Yes.
Because when you're focused on the external, you're under their, whatever. It's there, you've been distracted from your own internal revolution, from your own light.
There you go. You're distracted from your own internal light.
Yes.
And that's what, in all our incarnations, we keep getting farther away from our true light.
Or we keep getting closer, and because we're getting closer, it's getting louder because it doesn't want us to get closer. Does that make sense? I mean, this is why we keep coming back, is so that we can forward ourselves on our journey and our path and our soul and to make a difference. And we all agreed to come here in this incarnation because it's such a pivotal time.
I was just going to say that after our session with Janie,
Oh gosh, yes.
it she explained how the third and the fifth are coming to one. And it fits with just what you said. It's the timing, it's the universe, it's everything's coming together for this completion. And that's why we incarnated. That's why we're learning right now. That's why we're awakening, but it isn't the true awakening. The awakening's always been there. It's just showing us the way to get there.
Right. Well, like Reverend Jane Howard Feldman had said in our in that session we went to, this is a 9 year, and 9 years are completions. 2026 is a 1 year,
Yes.
which is a beginning, which is, that's that momentum and that energy. So there is a lot of noise, and we're coming to the end of this year. Can't believe that. Um, and the noise seems to be getting louder, and we seem to be, everybody seems to be really shaken up by all the energies and all. The thing is, this is part of the rabbit hole journey. And this is just one more part of that rabbit hole journey. Remembering that at the bottom of all of this is the light. Remembering that it's not even a matter of of a battle or fighting this or that, or it's not about right or wrong.
Yeah.
It's about finding our light at the bottom of all that noise, the bottom of all those rabbit holes that we've gone down and allowed ourselves to get caught up in or lost in that maze. And to remind ourselves that's what's at the bottom is God, Creator, is the light, our light.
And we are all one.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
That said it all. I mean, that put perspective together. I think it was excellent.
So, are we complete for this time?
I believe so.
All right. Well, we want to thank you for joining us on another Rev Talk. And we want to remind you to be gentle with yourself and to be kind to yourself. And to remember that you are unique in all the universe. There will never be another just like you in all of space and time. You are powerful, you are cherished, and you are loved. And without you, the song of the universe would be incomplete. Until next time, my friends, be well.